All right. Welcome to episode 8 of the podcast. Breathe 911. I don't know why I said it like that. Today we are going to be talking about the mind-body connection. And if that sounds interesting to you, well, I'm glad you're here. If you're new, if you haven't downloaded the free gift, 3 ways to make your life better as a first responder, check out the link, go to the website, click the blue button. I've got something there for you. And with that, we will get started. I want to start today with talking about this idea started from a quick YouTube clip I saw of Jocko talking about Navy SEALs not wanting to be nervous, and fighters not wanting to be nervous before a fight or before like their first mission he was talking about. I'm going to try and put the clip in here, but if I can't, the gist of it was he would be talking to them on the way and he'd say, how you feeling? And he'd say, yeah, I feel good. Not wanting to show weakness. And it's not showing weakness, but he would rephrase the question and say, okay, how's your stomach feeling? And they'd say, yeah, not I'm feeling a little off, right? And he would say, that's fine. That is your body getting ready for battle, your body preparing to fight. And your body is taking blood away from the stomach, moving it to your organs to get ready to fight, releasing cortisol. So releasing different hormones to prepare you. So where you feel it in your body, that is your mind and your body creating this connection of like, I feel this, therefore it's this, right? So this is a little bit off topic. An interesting thing that I remember I heard was anxiety and excitement, almost the same physiological response happens in your body. Your temperature increases, your heart rate increases, levels of cortisol increase. You get ready, your body's getting ready, getting jacked up to do a thing, or it's getting jacked up because it's anxious about a thing. So really all that means is if almost the same thing is happening to your hormones, to your heart rate, to your temperature, if the same things are happening to your body, well, what's the difference? The difference is in how your mind is perceiving that. So if we can figure out, I'm feeling, my body's doing this, I'm going to feel this, right? So we can establish that when our body feels a certain way, we are going to associate that with something positive. I'm going to talk for a minute about EMDR therapy. If you don't know what EMDR therapy is, there's a link in this video to just a brief description of EMDR therapy. When I did EMDR therapy, probably one of the best things that I've ever done. Anyone that I know who's done EMDR therapy I've never heard anyone say it was a waste of time, it was no good for me. I've heard that about a lot of other therapies. That I've never heard. So during that therapy, a lot of the questions beyond going through the process, the question that was asked a lot is, okay, where do you feel that in your body? So establishing like, I feel that in my chest. A lot of it is for me, a lot of it's in the core. I feel in my head, I feel my chest, I feel my stomach. That I feel my low back, in my hands, my legs, anywhere, right? So to just sit there and say, when I did EMDR therapy, you would work through traumatic events that you've been through, that you've experienced, that you've been a part of. So going through that and establishing that mind-body connection, I found it super helpful. So today we are going to talk about, a brief plug for a book that I haven't finished, I'm reading. It's called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, MD. Anyways, working through that book. It's got a bunch on EMDR therapy, on PTSD in there. It's from what I've read, it's really, really interesting. So I'm just giving that a quick plug because from what I've read, it's great. So here are my go-tos for establishing a mind-body connection. So as A-type, as first responders, like we have, I would say the majority of A-type personalities of have trouble sitting still. Like, I've tried to like meditate for years, and it's like, man, it's been 30 seconds. Your mind's everywhere. It's like, I'm done. I can't sit any longer. I can't sit still. So one of the things that's probably helped me with this is not only the physical benefits of the breath work that we do at Breathe 911, but it allows you to get into like a 10-minute breath routine where you're focusing on upregulating breathing, downregulating breathing. You focusing on different breathing patterns. So you're not focusing on nothing. You're focusing on breath work. And I found that to be helpful. So doing breath work, and I'll pair that with meditation, that's a great way to establish, one way that you can establish your mind-body connection. Another one, no surprise, cold exposure. Getting cold, if you wanna really sit in something that's uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable inside, in your head, physically on your skin, like it's uncomfortable, and you are forced to sit there with your mind. And I am not a big fan of like sitting and suffering through the cold. What I am a fan of is like, while we're in the cold, how can we breathe and use our brain to say, I'm in control? And then there's different breathing patterns. There's different way to flex your intercostal muscles to really try and push blood around and move oxygenated blood around to try and heat yourself up, to try and maintain some level of comfort while you're in the cold. So that's another great way to establish the mind-body connection. These are the same types of things. Sauna or heat exposure. You can physically see and feel your body's like, you can see beads of sweat coming out of your skin as your body is trying to regulate your internal temperature. Your heart rate goes up, your temperature goes up, you start sweating profusely, your breathing becomes difficult, and that is a way you have to sit and focus on something physical to try and maintain a level of homeostasis. And I guess the last one I'll say is exercising. I tend to exercise. I tend to go all out. I just like it. I find I can lose myself in that, and I like that. But another way that I've been practicing recently is like when I tape my mouth shut when I go for a run. A lot of physical benefits from a book I've just read, Patrick McCowan, The Oxygen Advantage. Plug for him. Amazing book, an amazing guy. But if you tape your mouth shut, the limiting factor is how much oxygen you can take in through your nose and how much carbon dioxide you can blow off. So it really, when I run with my mouth taped shut, which sounds ridiculous to some people, I know, but I'm a bit ridiculous. So I am focused on my breath in. I am focused on slowing my breathing. I'm focused on using my primary muscles, my diaphragm, to draw in the breath. And that I feel is helping me establish that mind-body connection. That's it for my notes. Yeah. So if you have ever had any experience with EMDR therapy, any of these modalities, I kind of hate that word, but any of these modalities to establish the mind-body connection, if you got a story about any of that, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. As always, like, subscribe, share the video, share the podcast, whatever. Leave a comment on Apple or Spotify, however you are consuming this. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for giving me your time and being a part of the community. As a gift for you, head on over to the website, click the link. It's in the description. There's a free gift for you. Click the blue button on, as a first responder, some 3 ways that you can improve the quality of your life. Beyond that, if you want to be on the podcast, I'm going to start. We're brand spanking new, but we're rolling, man. And if you want, we're going to start with some interviews coming up. I love talking to people. That was the goal for this. Unfortunately, you have to start somewhere, and I'm starting here. So I'm starting just talking to my phone, talking to you through my phone, through this magical interweb. But if you would like to be on the podcast, if you got a story to share, if you want to tell your story, if you just want to hang out, I promise you, if we meet up to do a podcast video in person, I promise you, we'll either get hot, get cold, and sweat. So we're going to do some of that before or after, and we'll have a good time. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. I love you all. Have a great day.